Have you ever thought, why do I always end up with the same kind of person? Why do I always choose people that don't choose me? And why does something about love always feels so hard, so unreachable, so difficult? Well, it's not because you are unlucky, and it's definitely not because you are unlovable. The truth is, you're just simply repeating the love that your nervous system remembers, and not the love that your soul desires, and not the love that your soul is aligned to. So today I'm going to break down exactly why you keep attracting the same kind of love and the same kind of people, and how you can finally break that cycle. I'm going to show you that actually you're not unloved, you're not unwanted, you're simply unaligned. And I'm going to teach you how to get back into alignment, how to get back into love. First of all, you need to understand that you attract what is familiar and not what is healthy to you. The thing about the nervous system is that it craves familiarity more than anything else. We unconsciously recreate for ourselves the emotional environment that we have experienced as children. So that means that if love meant proving yourself, if love meant being ignored or feeling abandoned, then you will chase that as your normal, as your baseline. I think it's very important to understand where we are coming from and understanding our roots. And there's certain psychological frameworks that when you analyze them and you understand them, you're able to go back into your own roots and be able to see your own patterns. The first of these frameworks is attachment theory. Attachment theory says that the way that you have bonded with your primary caregivers, with your parents when you were younger and when you were a child, shapes how you experience safety, closeness, connection in your adult relationships. So there are 4 primary styles. The first one is secured. You have a secure attachment style if you grew up feeling safe, feeling soothed, and feeling seen. And now, as an adult, love feels like a safe place and not as a battlefield. The second style is anxious. You have anxious attachment if you have experienced inconsistent affection. You have chased love, you were overgiving, or you were people-pleasing in order to not be abandoned. The third style is avoidant, and you develop the avoidant attachment style if you grew up learning that your emotional needs were not welcomed. So now you have become self-reliant and avoidant and distant in order to avoid disappointment. And then there's a fourth attachment style that a lot of people are not aware of, which is the disorganized attachment style. This is the attachment style that you develop where love was both a source of comfort and fear. So that means that you may crave intimacy, but you sabotage it when it starts to get too real. So for example, maybe your parents were only giving you love and affection when you were good or when you were high achieving. So now you may equate being loved with being impressive, with having to be impressive. And now you date people who make you prove yourself. And you don't understand that you don't chase love, you're chasing approval that to you seems like love. The second thing that is very important to go into an understanding is inner child healing. And I have a whole different video on this that goes deeper into this. But to quickly summarize, the inner child is the part of you that holds on to the unmet emotional needs, fears, and pains from your childhood. And even as adults, that version of us still wants to be chosen, to feel safe, to be loved without needing to perform, and to trust that someone won't leave. But the problem is that instead of healing our inner child, we instead hand over our dating life to them. So for example, maybe you get very deeply triggered when someone takes too long to answer to your texts. On the outside, oh, you're just telling yourself, oh, I'm just being silly. But on the inside, your inner child is screaming, am I invisible again? Did I do something wrong? And this ends up becoming a pattern into your life where most of your dating experiences are ending up being your inner child trying to protect you from feeling abandoned all over again. And another very important system that we need to understand when it comes to your past is nervous system imprinting. Your nervous system doesn't learn love through words, it learns love through experiences. So if love in your early life felt like you were walking on eggshells, never knowing if you were good enough, being rewarded for when you self-sacrificed, then that emotional blueprint becomes your default. So you end up feeling calm around chaos and feel anxious around calm. So for example, when someone treats you well, you feel weirdly off or bored. But when someone ignores you, you feel magnetically drawn towards them and drawn to prove your worth. Your nervous system is not confused. It's simply the way that it's programmed. And how all of this ties together is that, let's say that your adult self wants emotional stability, but your nervous system is still wired for unpredictability. You will unconsciously choose emotionally unavailable partners. You will overfunction in relationships. You will stay too long with someone that feels like home, even though it hurts you. You feel undeserving of healthy, steady love. This doesn't mean that you are broken. Your nervous system is simply following the old love map that it was given to you, that it was handed to it. It's just following direction of its default experiences. But here's the good news. Once you bring this into awareness through therapy, through journaling, through inner work, you can rewire your emotional blueprint. You can teach your nervous system that safety is love. You can teach your nervous system that calm is safe and that you don't have to earn love, you simply have to receive it. And listen, this is not wishful thinking. I am telling you from personal experience because I was able to turn my disorganized attachment style to secure. I was able to heal my inner child wounds, and I was able to rewire my nervous system to understand that love feels safe, to understand that I don't need to earn love, but all I have to do is to open myself to receive it. That's why I am certain that you can do it too. The second reason why you attract the wrong love is because your inner beliefs set your dating blueprint. And what that means is that you will date through the lens of your own wounds. If you have core beliefs like I'm not lovable or I have to perform to be chosen, then those core beliefs shape how you will show up in love. And those core beliefs are formed between the ages of 0 to 7, and they so often go unchecked. Nobody goes back into the beliefs that you were able to form through those years because nobody considers them as impactful enough. An example here is if a woman is avoiding to ask for clarity in her while she's dating someone because deep down she is scared that being too much will scare people away. You are not crazy. You're simply triggered. These are your old wounds reacting in new situations. A lot of people see themselves get into a relationship and they end up getting very triggered and very emotionally overreacting to certain situations. They are even confused with themselves. Why does this bothers me so much? So that emotional overreaction in dating often comes from past pains and not from your present reality. Triggers are part of the brain, specifically the part of the brain called the amygdala, that are responding as if the past is happening right now. And so so many people get confused when that trigger gets reacted, when that part of their brain gets triggered, because it's like they are not able to see anymore, to see objectively anymore what is happening right in front of them, but all they see is the past pain. All they feel is the past pain, and they feel like they are going through that past experience. They feel like they are reliving that past experience, but in present reality. So a small example here is that somebody doesn't text you back and you end up spiraling. You don't understand that this is not about them. This is about the 5-year-old version of you that remembers being emotionally neglected. Repetition compulsion is very real. And this is exactly why you keep recreating what has hurt you. And Freud called this repetition compulsion trying to master the old wound, trying to master the original wound by reliving it. But the problem here is that you're not actually healing that wound. You are simply reopening it again and again and again. So for example, a woman that constantly chooses emotionally unavailable men or goes back to the same emotionally unavailable person is because she is thinking that maybe this time it will be different. Maybe this time I will be chosen. And this stems from the original wound that has been probably created in her childhood, where she wasn't chosen, where she was around emotionally unavailable parents or caregivers, and she is now recreating the same relationship and the same attachment with her partner, and she's trying to heal her inner child, having this compulsion and need to heal the wound of I am being chosen, I am loved with this new person. Another reason why we attract the wrong love is because your standards are subconsciously negotiable, and this is precisely why you lower the bar without even realizing it. When your self-worth is tied to being chosen, then you tolerate behaviors that do not align with what you value, and they don't align with your values. And this is very often a result of enmeshed or conditional childhood love. So let me tell you more about this conditional love and this enmeshment, because they are more common than we think, and bringing this awareness of this in your life, of this happening in your life, you're able to understand a lot. So firstly, conditional love is when you were taught that you need to be who I need you to be. When your parent tells you that you need to be who I need you to be. So this is the love that had strings attached, a lot of strings attached. So you felt affection or approval or attention only when you acted a certain way, whether that's polite, being quiet, being accomplished, when you suppress certain emotions like anger, sadness, neediness, and when you met someone else's needs before meeting your own. And what this teaches to you as a child is that I am only lovable when I am convenient. I must earn love by being good enough. And my needs push people away. And now as an adult, you end up becoming a chameleon into your relationships. You're shaping yourself to be desirable, likable, or very easy to love. Even if that means abandoning your own needs and your own wants and your own desires as a person. You end up staying quiet when you're hurt. You tolerate inconsistency, and you feel guilty setting any boundaries. And all of that because you have learned that love disappears when you stop performing. And then the second thing I want to touch upon is enmeshment, where you were taught that as a child to think that your feelings are my responsibility. So this happens when there were weak or non-existent emotional boundaries with your caregiver. Often when a parent relied on you too much emotionally or made you feel responsible for their happiness. And what it taught to you as a child is that I can't upset people, especially the ones that I love. If I take up space, then this is selfish. and my job is to manage their emotions and to be there for them emotionally, to support them. And now as an adult, you end up becoming a caregiver or the fixer in your relationships. You struggle to say no or to express discomfort in your relationships. You might attract emotionally needy or unstable partners, and then you end up burning out by trying to save them or to soothe them. And that's only because love once meant for you fusion and not freedom. And the thing is that both conditional love and enmeshment, they wire you to see love as something earned and not as something freely received. So even now, you may unconsciously over-explain yourself, you apologize for even having needs, you avoid rocking the boat, and you stay in dynamics where your worth is always on trial. And I want you to understand that you're not doing this because you are weak or because you are needy, but because a younger version of you had to adapt to love that didn't feel emotionally safe. I want you to be able to understand that now you're able and you're free and you have the ability to choose love that doesn't cost you yourself. You can be in a relationship where you're able to have your needs met, to be emotionally met, to have your standards, to have your boundaries, to have your wants and your needs covered without giving up yourself for them. Awareness is the first step to self-respect. And I talked about awareness and the importance of awareness in my last video. And the thing is that you can't heal what you can't see. Most people don't need to actually work harder to heal. They need to simply see what's running the show. They simply need awareness, because awareness turns pain into choice. And this is where journaling, coaching, inner work, and therapy comes in, not to fix you, but to reintroduce you to yourself. Healthy love feels safe and not addictive. Trust me, real love feels calm and it doesn't feel like a roller coaster. If you're used to love feeling like chaos, then calm love will feel boring or unexpected. But I want you to shift that belief. I want you to be able to understand that this is not boredom, that it's regulation. It's your nervous system finally not being in fight or flight. It's your nervous system finally not being in survival mode. And this is where healing happens, where you let love in without running, without chasing, and without collapsing. You actually don't know what healthy love looks like. You actually don't know what healthy love feels like. And that's such an important thing to realize and understand, because it will allow you to see that where you are right now, you're in a place where you are a magnet to your old past experiences, to your old wounds. And by understanding that and by bringing awareness into that, it's the first step. It's allowing and accepting that. It's very difficult to just accept that where I am right now, I'm not able to attract healthy love. But it's the first step. But it's so key to accept it, because only when you accept it, you're able to then move to a state where you start healing it and you start becoming a magnet for healthy love. Ask someone what they want in love and they're going to give you traits. Tall, driven, funny. But ask someone what love should feel like, and most people can't answer that question. Healthy love feels like being held, not being tested. It really feels like you're exhaling. It feels like you don't have to earn the space that you take up. It looks like consistency, communication, repair. And most importantly, it doesn't leave you questioning your own worth. Finally, the reason why you keep attracting wrong love is because you haven't become the version of you who believes that you deserve it. And this is where everything changes, because the love you attract is a reflection of your own self-concept. And if you still believe that you are hard to love, you will keep attracting people that will confirm it. Listen, you're not too much, you're not unwanted, you're not unloved. You simply just learned love in a way that hurt you. And now you get to unlearn it. Because the truth is, love doesn't fix your wounds. It simply reflects the ones that you have managed to heal. And I have created something that is going to help you to do exactly that. It's a digital journal, a full guided journey with every phase of healing mapped out, with every phase of healing when it comes to love mapped out for you. It covers the whole journey, from understanding your patterns to reprogramming your beliefs to manifesting the love that you want and that you deserve. It's basically like therapy with yourself, but simpler. It's basically what I wish I had when I was going through my healing journey to love, when I was trying to figure out all the things that I need to heal about myself in order to become a person that is able to attract healthy love into my life. I didn't want to keep going into relationships and situationships that were going to teach me the hard way the lessons that I needed to learn. I wanted to be able to face the pain, to face the patterns, to face the wounds with myself, and to become able to heal them for me without having to go through this painful process of hurting other people or being hurt by other people. And this is what I will forever suggest anyone to do, because it's the process that has less friction and has the most valuable results. You are able then to create a healthy version of love, and you're able to attract a healthy love into your life. And it makes that person that you attract even more important, because that person, that relationship more correctly, is the fruit of your labor. It's the fruit of your actions that you took to heal yourself in order to be able to attract that healthy relationship into your life. There's so many people thinking that love is just about luck. Luck has nothing to do with it. You do the work, you do the inner work, and I promise you, you're gonna end up becoming lucky like those people that end up attracting that healthy love into their life. That's it for today, guys. I really hope that helped. And if you have any questions, please let me know and I could make a video about it. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.